Well, hello everybody, welcome to the ITL. Well, you see we're outside today. Yeah, the temperature, the sun's out, it's still damp. Gotta cut my grass soon. But yeah, we made it outside. It's still chilly, it's springtime. But I'm sitting here listening to my little Baofeng radio here, and I'm kind of enjoying it. I mean, yeah, it takes a little bit of keying up to hit the further repeater at 13.5 miles away, but it hits it. And because I mean, I get a little bit better on my second floor and the third floor of my house, but I mean, it's kind of equal because I got aluminum siding on the house compared to just being outdoors. But I can't wait to get my antennas finished. That way I'm gonna hang one on the house maybe and see what I can do with it. But I've been sitting here listening, just basically sitting on the side. Of course, nobody knows I'm there. That way I can go ahead and record for the ITL. A little bit of a hint I want to give out about these batteries. Especially, I'm including for the Baofeng any rechargeable battery. I'm going to put a reminder out, and some people don't actually know this. I was surprised to find this out. That actually you're supposed to run the batteries down completely dead before you charge them up. That way if you don't, they actually build up a memory in it, and they don't give you the full charge. But it's just a little bit of a hint going out there. I'd like to apologize for next week's videos, actually pretty ahead of time. I shot a video going out on Tuesday ride, and here it was actually set up for this mode right here instead of my normal 1080p super view, and you don't see the bike too much, and I don't like that view. I really don't like the narrow view, and even in 1080p for riding, doing anything like that. But I mean, yeah, I missed it. I shot the ITL last week, and then I forgot to put the camera back to its basically helmet setting, I call it. I missed it. But I apologize for it ahead of time. I'm going to go ahead and use the video. I figure somebody might get an enjoyment out of it. If you don't, that's cool with me too. I mean, that's just the way it is. Sometimes these things don't work out quite the way you want, and you just roll with it, you know. But yeah, I see Easter lilies out and about today. Actually, I'm going to pick a few for the missus before I go in, and I gotta clean up my property a little bit. But yeah, this is getting into the season where we are cutting grass and cleaning up the lot, and yeah, it's nice to be able to get back out and do a little bit, even though I'm slowing down a bit. Well, it's not quite a bit, but I mean, I'm not slowing down anymore. I'm just basically strengthening that left leg of mine, getting it healed up. Right, even though I was working on it before, I was under some medications that made it so you didn't mind the pain so much. And now the medicines aren't there, so guess what? I'm feeling it pretty good. But I wanted to give out to what I did to the goat over the weekend, last weekend. Whenever I first got the KLR, I was coming from Iowa. I stopped in Chicago at Suburban Riders place, and I ended up adjusting the spring load on the rear shock. I mean, I softened it way up. Basically, it lowered it down a teeny bit so I can get my leg over it, and it also gave it a softer ride. But saying that, I left it like that until just recently. I have gained a few pounds, a pound or two, you know, and even though I had it loaded down with stuff before, I got the cans lightened up. It just didn't feel right to me. I mean, I'm like, you know what, this bike could ride a lot better. So I started looking for the spanner wrench for the rear shock. Well, I misplaced it down the line somewhere. I ended up ordering another one. I got it in, and I ended up adjusting that rear shock. spring tent and preload, and I adjusted it. I got it about right, about perfect in my eyes, where it actually rides pretty decent on the roadways. And then I took it a little bit off-road yesterday, because this is Wednesday. I took it a little bit off-road Tuesday coming home, and sadly, no video of it. Don't know if that's coming over, but the repeater's hitting my, is checking on my, they send out every so often the time and everything for the local repeater. But, what was I saying? Oh yeah, sadly the camera messed up on me, and the videos, I have a video that cuts up to it, but I don't have the actual video of it. But I found basically they were excavating a site out. And I looked at the guy. I said, "Hey, do you mind if I test my suspension out on here real quick while away from the workers?" He said, "No, I don't care." And I took it off some mild off-roading. I mean, there was like, it started out like 7-8 inches on drop-offs and got a little bit higher. But the goat handled perfect. You're real fine for that, suspension-wise. Now I did find I do have old gas. I mean, that gas has been in there for what, 3-4 months at least. And I could tell that she was lacking some grunt. So that as soon as I get that cleaned out and do put some carburetor cleaner down through her, my favorite stuff is actually seafoam, and that'll clean the carburetor and everything out for me. And she'll run just fine. But yeah, it's riding. You can tell it's riding more level. It's giving you a much better ride. It is a little higher, which thankfully, even whenever I had first got the goat, I knew my artificial hip had a lot of wear in it, which actually lowers you a little bit, and especially whenever you're trying to swing a leg over. But now, since this is fairly new, within a little over a year, it's letting me swing my leg over no problem at the full height. I can get it, and it's doing good. Figured I'd give you that little bit of update news, and basically I'm enjoying the day. I really should be out riding, but I got too much work to do. I mean, responsibilities come first, before you enjoy your enjoyment. And yeah, if I have to run out to the store or something, the goat will be going. It's too nice to leave it behind. And yes, you can load it down with groceries. I've put a full grocery cart full on that bike. No problem at all. And rode it home. It was a little heavy, but she did no problem. But I figured I'd go ahead and shoot this up and let you guys know what's going on, and I hope we throw a small hint out to you guys about, make sure you run your batteries down till they're totally flat dead. I do that with my little Baofeng radio. This is a cheap radio, like $20, a little over $20. I paid for the actual radio itself, but then you add the accessories and it can, it adds up. But anyway, I run the battery down completely dead where it's not running anything anymore, and then I just swap out the batteries real quick and get it charged back up, because it's the way to do it for me, instead of, because this will sit forever on standby, it seems like. I mean, I actually got this thing for a week, and it still had a little bit of battery left in it, just on standby while I was scanning the 2 channels I have set up on it to scan. And so what I do is I turn on the FM radio, because if you own one of these, the top button, you push it in while you're sitting there just on scanning, it'll actually kick it in the FM radio for your local stations, and you can tune in your radio stations. So I let it play and let it kill it that way. That way it's on a regular, I have a regular rotation with the batteries, and the batteries keep their charge. And I do that with actually other things too, like my cameras. For instance, I'll say I can't charge my battery up. I'll be honest. Normally it's because I say that because I didn't remember to charge my camera battery up. It also, I have my other batteries for the camera on charging. So it's like a little bit of forgetfulness, but I do run I cycle my batteries through. I have them numbered for the Hero 4 and the Hero 2. That way I could cycle them through and keep them charged up. Actually, even my Bloggy, I have an old good Bloggy that has the flip top. that I have a couple batteries for that, and I cycle those through whenever I use them. And I try to run them down dead on a regular basis, just to keep the batteries going. But I figured I'd throw that little bit of hint. I've done this since my teenage years. My father actually told me it, and it's always worked out for me. This is MuzzleMike. Hoping you all have a great week. Signing out.